And now let's welcome our guest tonight, and that's Zainab Shariff, Head Traditional Complementary and Alternative Medicine, Federal Ministry of Health. You're welcome to the program.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Kirian.
All right. We've been on this for a while now.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what is the situation? We understand that the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 had earlier requested Nigerians who had claims that they have a cure to the virus, or those who are still doing research, to come up with what they have for further verification and possible validation. So tell us more about that.
I want to really congratulate Nigerians, especially the traditional medicine practitioners, when the marching order was given that if you know you have any medications that can be used in the management of COVID, you can present it to the Ministry of Health and it comes to the department. The minister directed all the submissions, applications should be come to the department for further necessary action and evaluation. As far as we are concerned, technically we received 19, at the first batch we had 19 submissions from different practitioners, 19. And then we evaluated those submissions because it's important we evaluate so that we now pass it on to relevant agency. We have NIPRID is there, we have NAFDAC is there, we have NEMA in Lagos. And then the Honorable Minister of State had a conference with all the 19 practitioners who submitted different products in a bid to confirm their submission, in a bid to really get from them the necessary procedures they use in making those medications. And they all made their submissions and they were very delighted that this is the first time really the Ministry of Health is having a direct chat with these practitioners who have submitted their products. And then for now, the ministry has commenced the process of further evaluation of this product. I want to really say that I'm gladdened as the director in charge of that department, because it really shows that Nigerians are intelligent. It really shows we have a lot of people there who have the knowledge of medicinal plants. All they need is encouragement. And we need a strong political will. If we do that, Kirian, you must realize that no drug has ever come out of Africa. I think that should worry us as Africans, and that should worry us as Nigerians, especially when we are blessed with over 8,000 species of medicinal plants. Even the Niprisan we used to talk about, when it was evaluated in US, it was classified as a nutritional supplement. It was not classified as a drug, a pharmaceutical drug.
Was it efficacious?
Of course it was,
exactly.
Following the clinical trials. So you'd wonder why they would not classify it as a drug. That shows that Africans should begin to look inwards and have their own procedures and protocols.
Now, let me take you back to the 19 submissions you talked about.
Yes.
It's over a week now.
Yes.
How long should it take under normal circumstances to come up with a result?
That's a very good question, because I know Nigerians are eager. One, there are scientific procedures and protocols that are fully established. And very importantly, we must consider the safety of our Nigerians. However, let me give the insight and try to convince Nigerians that WHO has said even any medication that you have used in your community for over 200 years should be considered safe. However, the regulatory procedures must be followed. NAFDAC is doing a lot, trying to fast-track these procedures, and the basic tests must be done. The basic tests to confirm safety. And once safety is first confirmed, the process of listing is done. In listing, what we have proposed from the Ministry of Health is that once your product is safe and is listed, we can now use it for clinical trials on the COVID patients who so desire. If I've listed this product, you are a COVID patient, you must willingly wanting to try. That is what we call practical clinical trials. And I know within the very shortest time, that process will commence.
What time are we talking about, Ajay? I mean, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month?
Technically speaking, there are various projects. I wouldn't want to say specifically because that is not my role.
Yeah.
That is the role of NAFDAC.
Yeah.
NAFDAC will be in a better position to tell you how long and how this process can be done.
Okay.
But I know from the discussions we had in the group meeting, at least within the next 2 to 3 weeks, this process can be confirmed for a product.
All right, thank you, Ajay. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll be concluding this conversation, how taking on other issues bordering on the alternative to whatever is orthodox about COVID-19, which of course we have not had a very good result. All right, you're watching Weekend File. We'll take a short break now. We will come back in just a moment.
Mama, Uncle Kim just called me. His wife just gave birth. Hey! If will not be God, though. Now who?
All right, we're back again. And I'm still with Zainab, Shariff, the Director, Traditional, Complementary and Alternative Medicine, Federal Ministry of Health. Now, we are looking forward to having
home remedy.
A home remedy,
At least
to
coronavirus.
To us, exactly. Yes. Just as we had of the Madagascar scenario, where they have promoted what they have, especially in Africa, and what have you. Assuming we come up with something, are we not looking at a situation where even the WHO or any other world organization would not really give ours a push? Because I am believing that in no distant time something must come out of Nigeria.
Really, Kirian, unusual problems need unusual solutions. There are instances you need to take a drastic action. There is an outside adage that says the zapi ake dukan karpi, is when the iron is very hot that you melt it. I would believe that it is a lesson for every country to look inwards and take its own decision, irrespective of WHO or not. You can have your own base home grain solutions. I want to recall that Professor Lambo, one of the great minister of health we had, says that there has to be protocols established to be able to take care of our people first nationally, then look at it in terms of ECOWAS and then maybe Africa. Yes, WHO is there. We recognize the role of WHO, but WHO cannot detect the internal solutions that we can take. What we need our leaders, we need our experts, we need our professors of researchers who are working. You cannot tell me that all the research we have been doing for many years cannot be practicalized. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, Kirian. That is why Madagascar went ahead. What they need to understand is that the product of Madagascar is called a herbal remedy. That means I believe Madagascar is doing the clinical trials on its people. And one of the main ingredients of Madagascar is Artemisia annua. You may wish to know that it has been domesticated in Nigeria for the past, as far back as 2008. 2 years trials were carried out in this country. The Chinese, who has the indigenous plant, the Artemisia annua, which is indigenous to China, they said it cannot grow in Africa. But you see it grew in Madagascar. And I want to tell you, in Nigeria, it grew so well that the content of artemisinin was much higher. So what we need is to pick it up from where we stopped. If for nothing, beyond post-COVID, we always tell you there's what we call medicine security. Nigeria has no medicine security because we don't have any raw materials. But with the coming of picking up the Artemisia annua, apart from the use, we can also have it as a first raw material for the management of ACTs, that is malaria. So that will make us have a cash crop that is a pharmaceutical product that can bring out a active pharmaceutical ingredient that our local manufacturers of over 120 companies can be able to use to manufacture raw material. And furthermore, we have the potential to export these raw materials. We are blessed with arable land. What do you see? Don't look at the health benefits also. You need to look at the economic benefits. Nigeria is blessed with these medicinal plants that will provide the health benefits for our people, which will clearly go in line with the traditional medicine policy of integrating traditional medicine into the healthcare.
Where can we find the plants you're talking about?
I was once, yes.
You're well, so
rooted
gifted
in Artemisia annua.
Exactly.
We have a book on Artemisia annua.
All right.
The plant is grown well. Like I said, the species Artemisia annua is the species from China, but we have the local species in Nigeria called Artemisia absenthin, which we call commonly Tezargadi. That has been an indigenous medicine that has been used for over 200 years. Artemisia species is not strange to Nigeria. But the political will, we need to be able to take this and support research. You know, the DG of NIPRID has always been clamoring, support research, support research. We need now, with what we have seen in COVID-19, we need to pump funds into research. But like I always say, the research must be product-oriented. We want to see the end product.
The end of it.
You must call it a short-term research or a medium-term research, but we need to see something out.
Now, before we run out of time, you know, you are aware of the drugs bit. Of course, you told us about that. It's about 13 submissions, 19 submissions so far, right?
Yes.
Are you hopeful that something positive is going to come out from these 19?
The world is changing. Africa is changing. The structure of medicine is dynamic, is changing generally. It is a window of opportunity for Africans to go into it and bring their own. And I believe with what we are seeing and the submission from practitioners, some are even submitting more. I know and I pray with the political will and also with the support, of course, our able ministers, both the Honorable Minister of Health and the Honorable Minister of State, are really pushing this cause. They believe it's an agenda they must achieve. This is a legacy that could come on board. For the first time, local medications are now integrated, should be integrated into the public health, so that into the public institutions, whereby if you go to any public hospital, if I want orthodox, can I have orthodox? If I want alternative or traditional, I can have it. We are looking forward to that. That is the purpose of traditional medicine, and that is the purpose of herbal pharmacopoeia, and that is the purpose of drug discovery and herbal medicines.
Yes, Zainab Shariff, it's always a pleasure having you. I'll talk on TV. You seem to know.
You know, you are my friend now. I know you are passionate about science and technology.
Exactly, and
yes.
I'm happy hearing you talk, you know, in that direction. Thank you. I've been hosting the ever vibrant Zainab Shariff, head traditional, complementary, and the alternative medicine Federal Ministry of Health. Thank you again for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. You are still watching Weekend File, and we now go to sports.
Hoffenheim held Homer's Fortuna Düsseldorf to a